Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to our sports show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, GCW, the Sunday night special from this past Sunday. Was able to get it finished, watched up. We did the Most Notorious yesterday. This weekend, obviously, we got two GCW shows. The Paranoid, let's see, look at the schedule here real quick. So we have on Saturday we have Take a Picture, and then on Sunday we have Paranoid. On Saturday we have WWE King and Queen of the Ring. On Sunday we have AEW Double or Nothing. For you race fans out there, we have a triple header. On Sunday we have the Formula One race, the Monaco Grand Prix, the Indianapolis 500 for NTT IndyCar, and then obviously the NASCAR Cup Series, Coca-Cola 600 around that weekend out as well. So a whole lot going on this weekend. We're going to get the videos up as I can. Obviously Saturday maybe delayed to get some stuff going on personally with that day, so we will probably do a lot more on Sunday and then Saturday, so that should be a lot of fun getting all that stuff, content up on Sunday and Monday as we get into the Memorial Day weekend. Alright, so GCW, the Sunday night special. This card, when the show happened, it was a surprise. Each match was a surprise. Obviously, watching a few days later, I was able to go on Cage Match and knew the lineup before the matches started. One unique thing about this show is there was no ring bell. There wasn't even the YouTube ring bell that they've used in the past. There was a gong. Gotta love GCW. They had a gong as the ring bell. I love it. Alright, so first matchup we had the team that you can Google, Bang and Matthews, formerly known as the Bang Brothers, Bang Bros. You couldn't Google them, otherwise you come up with stuff you don't want to see. So Bang and Matthews, August Matthews, Davey Bang taking on Brayden, Toon, and Hunter Drake, a couple of New South Tier 1 wrestlers there. Overall, good match, a nice match to start the day out with. We had a 3-star match here with 11 minutes and 37 seconds, and Bang and Matthews getting the victory. Next up, we had the Mecca. We're at the Mecca. The arena they were in at Ridge Park, New Jersey was called the Mecca. We had the wrestler, the Mecca, taking on the Ratty Daddy, the King of Ratchet Mountain, Cole Radrick. Now, Cole Radrick has a match coming up against Mance Warner. Mance has been on this tear to take out everyone who is friends of Effie. And Cole Radrick is one of those friends, and so Mancer was on commentary with them announcing the Cage Your Survival match between Effie and Mance Warner. The one caveat is Effie cannot touch Mance Warner between now and Cage Your Survival, or the match will be called off. So Effie wasn't even in the building, but Mancer comes out on commentary and was just trash on the Ratty Daddy the entire time, which it actually got comical after a point because Mance's heel has actually been a great run for him. Just the beer drinking, friendly Mance kind of, I don't say wasn't getting over right, but it was kind of one of those like, okay, it's kind of like the Stone Cold character. But we end up having this heel Mance, him and Cole Radrick at Take a Picture. And then I think I'm Paranoid. Is Mancer on that card as well? Taking a look at the card. Yeah, he's facing Alec Price there, so which is another friend of Effie's. So a couple of Effie's friends have a chance to kind of soften up Mancer before the Cage of Survival, but we'll see what happens. The Mecca end up winning this match against the Ratty Daddy, but then Mance comes out, attacks the Cole Radrick, gets his screwdriver out and tries to stab him in the head. The Mancer screwdriver. Then Alley Catch, who's Effie's tag partner with Broski, comes out with a steel chair to run off Mance Warner. So just more layers to this feud of Mance Warner and all of Effie's friends before he gets his hands on Effie, or Effie gets his hands on Mance. There is talk of that will be it. Final, when that match happens, it is done between the two of them, so we'll see where that ends up and how that goes. But Mecca getting the victory here, I ended up giving it 3 stars. Pretty standard match, about 8 minutes and 25 seconds, so it wasn't too bad. Next up we had hardcore legend AKIRA versus Matt Makowski, one of the submission-based wrestlers that's been in I believe it's AIWs where he's been a lot of. But he's been getting a cup of coffee here with Game Changer recently. Let's see, Black Label Pro, H2O, Beyond Wrestling, he's been there quite a bit lately as well. So throughout the kind of the Indies and that kind of Northeast Territory area, up to from Maine to New Jersey, that whole territory where Matt Makowski's been wrestling a lot with. Ended up getting the victory over AKIRA by submission, 9-minute match. I give it 3-star. Next up, we had John Wayne Murdoch versus one called Manders. Basically, a 10-minute, 45-second hoss fight. Two guys who can get dirty when it comes to hardcore. John Wayne Murdoch, ICW No Holds Barred champion. He wrestles in the squared circle in the chains a lot there for No Holds Barred. One called Manders, he can get the deathmatch wrestling, but he can also do just a good big man, kind of the Bradshaw version wrestler. These two guys took it to one another. We had doors involved, we had door bridges. John Wayne Murdoch did this, what kind of looked like a Canadian destroyer off the top rope, through a table to get the 1-2-3 on Manders. I ended up giving this match 3 1/4. Next up, we had a 3-on-2 handicap match. Well, it was supposed to be 2-on-2. We had the Kirks, Brayden Kirk and Kasey Kirk, taking on Rich and Powerful, Charles Mason, and Richard Holliday. Richard Holliday is bodyguard, his weapon. Parrow came out, which we ended up making this a 3-on-2 handicap match. So it was just a beat down, and Mason's kind of taking his minions and just kind of orchestrating this whole beat down on the Kirks. Kasey Kirk ended up getting away from Mason, ended up low blowing, just straight kick in the dick to Parrow. And after almost 9 minutes, we were able to get the Kirks to get the victory over Rich and Powerful, which just pissed off Charles Mason. So yeah, so it looks like Rich and Powerful, Charles Mason, and his minions will be going after the Kirks next. So we'll see how that goes. Mason has kind of methodically picked his way through the Northeast Territory there in the Indies and going after different people. He went after Effie at one point. He went after a ton of different people. I'm going to give the match about 2.5 stars. So it wasn't a great match, but it was like, okay, it's kind of watching how, okay, what's next for Rich and Powerful? Where does Charles Mason go from here? I want to see Richard Holliday actually go to AEW with MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, redevelop the Dynasty, bring in Hammerstone from TNA, and still kind of maybe do that kind of cross between TNA and bring Hammerstone in with the Dynasty and MJF and Rich Holliday and put that on the national stage. I think that would be kind of a cool gimmick there when MJF does return from injury. Next up, we had Broski Jimmy, which is the right-hand man of the general manager of Game Changer Wrestling, Matt Cardona. He came out and said he wants to wrestle a local enhanced talent so he could beat them. Well, the local enhanced talent that came out was the one and only former GCW World Champion Jordan Oliver, one third of Young Dumb and Broke, one half of East West Express with Nick Wayne. So Jordan Oliver comes out, one of my favorite wrestlers in the Indies right now. Comes out, takes the match with Broski Jimmy. 7.5 minutes. It was an okay match. When Broski Jimmy was Jimmy Lloyd before he got with Matt Cardona, him and Jordan Oliver actually used to be friends. But Broski ended up taking his freaking TV title belt, something that freaking Cardona created, and tries to hit Jordan Oliver with it. Misses. Jordan Oliver is able to hit his cutter and was able to get the 1-2-3. I give it a 3-star match. It was a pretty decent little match. 7.5 minutes. Next up, we had two former Young Dumb and Broke members, Griffin McCoy and Charlie Tiger. Griffin McCoy spent the vast majority of the 8-minute match defensively putting the referee between himself and Charlie Tiger, so every time Charlie Tiger went to hit an offensive move, the ref was there. He couldn't get to McCoy. And McCoy did some backhanded move behind the referee and was able to pull out a victory here. I ended up giving it 2 3/4 star. And then our main event was Nick Gage and Ruckus teaming up against the main event, J Lyon and Midas Black. Yeah, this match was rather violent for only being 6 minutes and 45 seconds. You had immediately Ruckus going off the top rope onto main event. You had J Lyon going through the ring like he always does. You had Nick Gage bringing in the doors, bringing in the chairs, and being Nick fucking Gage. Overall, good little match. Again, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Nice little end of the show. Having the god of this shit, Nick Gage, out there with Ruckus. Ended up giving that match 2 3/4 star. So that is GCW, the Sunday night special. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for this weekend for 2 more GCW shows, along with everything else going on. But as always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports and content.